Hello, welcome to MTG Pro Tutor. I am Sean Pinard, your host, and today we're going to open this M15 booster pack and evaluate the cards inside. Remember, when you are drafting, it is important to stay open for the first several picks. That means picking the best card regardless of color. So let's dive on into this pack and see what that card is. Alright, I always take out the marketing card and the land, set those aside, and then I would look at the rare. Alright, Mercurial Pretender. I am not a fan of this guy. He doesn't get me all excited. For 5 mana, you get a shapeshifter that can be a copy of any creature you control. Any creature you control. So for 5 mana, you're going to have something that's good to copy. I mean, what are you going to have that's like amazing at 5 mana? I don't know, right? And then for 4 mana, you can return him to your hand. So you can return him to your hand, and then play another, big bomb, and then recast him to copy that bomb, right? So I mean, there are some tricks you can do. You can block and then return him to your hand. So he is good. It's just I don't think he's that good. All right. So let's see what else we have. Coral Barrier is good. It makes makes a little squid token that with Island Walk. It has Defender. It's a 1/3, so it blocks stuff. I did a draft one time where I had a bunch of Coral Barriers and a bunch of Peel from Realities. So that was kind of nice. I played Coral Barrier. I get my token. I block with the Coral Barrier and then use Peel from Reality to return Coral Barrier to my hand and one of my opponent's creatures. And then on my future turn, I play the Coral Barrier again, getting another squid token. You see? So that worked out kind of nice. Coral Barrier is, I think, is perfectly decent. Any blue deck would be happy to have it, I think. Forge Devil, I like Forge Devil. There's a lot of creatures that fall prey to one damage. So the 1 damage you deal to yourself is, fairly negligible when compared to the idea of clearing out, say, a Elvish Mystic or a Welkin turn, right? I mean, Forge Deviling a Welkin turn is amazing. Triplicate Spirits, awesome. This would be my first pick so far. Going hard in on white. Rather, if you're going to go hard on white, you need to go in early, because anybody else who opens up, a Triplicate Spirits is going to be like, ooh, I want to go this color. So you really want to move in heavy on the white to really signal that it's yours, right? Oh, Nimbus Isle. So this is good. 3/3 flying for 5. Which is familiar, also good, perfectly playable, 2/3 for 3. Naturalize, I would sideboard. I don't think it's necessary to main deck Artifact or Enchantment Hate, but it's definitely good to have around in case they have a, like a Spectral Ward or something. So Black Cat is a 1/1 for 2. I don't really like Black Cat that much. Your target opponent discards a card at random. It's not that impressive, really. Evolving Wilds, I'm not going to first pick this. If once I get into 3 colors, if I'm splashing a 3rd color, then I definitely want at least 1 Evolving Wilds. But early on, I don't really need to pick it. So Living Totem's a bit of a beast. It's a 2/3 for 4 mana, which is a bit below average. 2/3 is usually good at 3 mana. However, he does have quite a few abilities. He has Convoke, so you can get him out a little bit early, and whenever he enters the battlefield, you put a +1/+1 counter on another target creature. So he's just, he's just a big helper. He helps your team out, helps them grow. I do like him. You can Peel from Reality your totem and then get that counter again. Unmake the Grave. So this is great to have when you're going into a green-black graveyard deck. I mean, pretty much, if you draw an awesome bomb on your first pack, whether that's Hornet Queen or Stormtide Leviathan, or something just really big, it's nice to have maybe one get out of the graveyard card, so that if anything happens, you can get it back. If it gets milled, if it gets killed, discarded, something like that, you can get it back. In an ideal situation, you draft a super cool bomb on your first pick, and then you're kind of able to move into a Graveyard Matters theme. That's easier when your bomb is green or black, but it can be done with bombs of any color, really, as long as you have cards like Unmake the Grave to bring it back. So Wall of Essence is nice. I mean, I like the fact that you gain life. It's a 0/4 defender for 2 mana, so that'll stop early attackers, and not only will it stop early attackers, it will give you life, when they attack. So that's That's nice. It usually puts the brake on your opponents. They don't want to attack into it because they just don't want to give you life. And this also works really well when you're having a Johnny's Pride mate. Ooh, Nightfire Giant. He's a beating. He's a boss. He's a 4/3 for 5 mana, and if you control a mountain, he's a 5/4. That's huge. You know, a 5/4, and his mana dump is great. So you don't need to tap him. You can just pay 5 mana and deal 2 damage to target creature or player. So later on in the game, that's a great way to use your mana. You can you know, finish off creatures here and there at the end of combat. You can ping your opponent if they're low enough. So Nightfire Giant, very relevant. I like this guy. Ancient Silverback I also like. He's a 6/5 for 6, which is not bad. Figure the souls are 6/6 for 6, so that's cool. And he does have a cool ability where you can regenerate him for 1 green. So he's a beast. Other than exiling him, he's going to be hard to destroy. So my top picks, the ones I like most: Ancient Silverback, Nightfire Giant, and I definitely don't like Mercurial Pretender. So, and Triplicate Spirits. So here are the ones that I like in in order. What would I pick? Probably, I think I would go with Nightfire Giant, and then go red black or black red, just because 5/4 for 5 mana is really good. We had some maybe the Make the Graves can come back around. That's kind of what I'm thinking. By sending a Triplicate Spirits, it says that we're not in white, so you definitely don't want to move into white afterwards. I mean, unless you have a really strong reason to. Ancient Silverback, there just wasn't much support in this pack. I guess the Living Totem would be nice to come back around. But yeah, any one of these 3 cards, I think you'll be good with first picking. Because you really could. You could go Triplicate Spirits and just go all in on the white. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It is a very powerful card, probably one of the best cards in the set. And then Ancient Silverback, just very strong, really hurts. Hard to interact with, hard to deal with, as long as you have that 1 green mana open and they don't exile it. And then just Nightfire Giant, again, another pain bringer, a 5/4 for 5 mana that you can kind of do extra damage to your opponent when you have extra mana. That's great. So that said, these are my 3 picks. Really toss up on the order. Today I'll say we'll go with the Nightfire Giant. So what do you think? What would you first pick? Out of these 3 specifically, what would you first pick and why? Thanks for watching. Hope you learned something and you can use this knowledge to get out there and win more drafts. So I'm Sean Penrod, and we'll see you in the next pack.